Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. Let us begin the study of the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Tavo kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi bhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam sri madatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was talking with the devotees. They were celebrating the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's birthday at Dakshineshwar. So, in that chapter, it is page number 703, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And there we find the one person, he is asking that realize God in one birth. This is a very interesting question. In one birth. So I came to know after analyzing, after understanding, oh yes, that there can be God and who is all powerful and he is merciful and all this whole world, whatever I see is nothing but temporary. So I concentrate on God. But is it possible to realize God in one life? We read in the life of Bhagavan Buddha that it took 500 births for him. One after another life he took 500 times. And then only in the last birth he became the Buddha, the knower of Brahman. In that case, is it possible to realize God in one birth? Master Sri Ramakrishna, he is answering, is anything impossible for the grace of God? So when I am thinking about realization of the God, I know what is God. And when that God, who is all powerful, can he not give me the liberation? Any moment he can give. Though it needs the preparation in the path of devotion, in the path of knowledge, in every path, naturally, it needs the preparation and the student should be ready, then only it is possible to realize. And sometimes people, they don't have the idea what is God. Then when you think about God, we think about some supernatural power that is revealing. It is possible, the God can give. And at the same time, God means, as we are reading in the scriptures, the development of wonderful qualities, and which we can summarize by saying it is love and unselfishness. What is God? Unselfishness is God. We are born because of our selfishness. I, and I am associating this I, the conception of I, is associating in different bodies. It is not only this body. Previously also, afterwards also, again and again. That Hindu believes that that your karma, your desire is constantly taking you life after life. As Buddha, also the Buddhism also accept that. The reincarnation theory, rebirth. So this, why it is happening? Because of the tanha. The Lord Buddha said, it is trishna, tanha, desire. Desire for what? These worldly things. And the more we are grabbing to these things, and it is going away because it is all temporary. Again I am thinking there's something else I should have. Like this it is going on. But suppose I have the faith in the existence of God and who is all powerful, all merciful, everything he can do, then what he will do in one click, I can get the liberation. There's a beautiful, again and again the sadhus, they will be repeating in India, and they will say, the Hindi couplet, they say, मैं को कहाँ ढूंढो बंदे, मैं तो तेरा पास मो. Bande means, the person actually is addressing, where you are searching me, the God, where you are searching. I am just so near to you, within you. Then he said, if you can't properly search, you can get me. I am there within you. मैं को कहाँ ढूंढो बंदे, मैं तो तेरा पास मो, खोजोगे तो अभी मिलूंगा, पल भर के तलाश मो. If you search really, if you know how to search, within a flash of an eye, then we can see that. Just a second, you will immediately realize. And what is that? It is not I am going to get something which is outside. It is me only, I only, but I was not knowing that. It is like a young man, he was the prince of that state, but he forgot that for some reason. And he was going on loitering here and there, asking people, do you know who am I, who am I? Then suddenly someone told, hey, you are the king's son. Immediately he revealed, I am the prince of this country. I am the son of the God. That much. It doesn't need time, that flash. So here it says, but how it is, then he is telling, one should pray to God with sincere longing. This is very, very important. So when we are going on praying to God, are we truly sincere? That is the question. We pray to God for so many reasons and we cry, and many of the ladies, they say, Swamiji, we are crying, I was crying for God. That's good, you are crying for God. But truly, ask yourself, are you really crying for God? No, maybe that you were not getting something which you wanted, and that was already there, that emotion was already there. Then when you go to God and praying to God, then that comes out, the emotion comes out as a tear and cry. But it is not for God actually, it is for the thing that you didn't get, maybe recognition, maybe love, maybe some attention, maybe some of the objects. So many, it is hidden desire are there in the mind. But when we can really, really love God and cry for God, that is completely different. That satisfies the mind. Then completely a change comes. So what is God realization? Santushti, completely satisfied, and there is no other desire. So that we have to understand, one should pray to God with sincere longing. God cannot but listen to prayer if it is sincere. Cannot but. He is bound to. Who is this God? Our consciousness. And what happens? When we are sincerely praying to that consciousness, praying to whom? The consciousness. I like to see the truth. Please reveal thyself. Now here comes, from the Hindu point of view, they will say, if you want to see God in form, well, the God will reveal that in that form, in whatever form you want. The Krishna, the Rama, the Ganesha, the Shiva, the Kali, Durga, any form. That's why in Hinduism so many gods and goddesses. In any form, if you are sincere in that form, the God will reveal for you only, because you want to see. But if you want to know the truth, what is that truth? Who are you? Immediately you will find is a flow of love, is a fountain of love. And you like to love each and every one because it is you everywhere present. That is Vedantic. I cannot hate anyone because everything that I see, everyone that I see is nothing but myself, the self. That is the consciousness. This is the way. But in a Bengali, there's a beautiful song, Dak dikhi mon dakar moto, Kamon Shama Thakte Pare. Sometimes Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna has sang this song. Oh mind, can you please call my God in a sincere way? And then I challenge that he or she is going to reveal because of my sincerity. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna sometimes demonstrated himself how to call God. He'll be lying down on his back on the floor, and then he'll be throwing, just like the babies will be crying, they'll be rolling on the floor and they're crying, and their strength is in that crying. If a baby goes on crying, all people come, hey, what happened? The small little baby, but he'll be sounding so much. All people, because that cry is its strength. It cannot stand, it cannot talk, but it can cry. And that cry will attract each and everyone, particularly the mother, and the mother will fulfill all the things that the baby needs. So that is the way we have to. Can you call in that sincere way to God with your tears? All sat in silence. When Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was telling this, all sat in silence, pondering Sri Ramakrishna's words. So when a person or the people, they are sincere, they're regularly coming to a holy person, and the person like Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the God himself, the purest of the pure, and he loves, he wants to show, he wants to help, he wants to reveal. The only thing that we should understand, then we are pondering, have I really called God in that way, prayed to God in that way? And each and every prayer will be answered, so one should be very, very careful. So that is the way when we are praying, we should be very, very careful. There are so many different stories are there. By that way, to make people aware how to pray and what to pray. So that is the thing Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is teaching, that if you can call on God, if you pray to God sincerely, with all your heart, God will surely respond. But there are some things are there which is not possible, because it's in a system it goes. Sometimes it is, sometimes it is not possible. Then one lady came with a dead child, and then she was asking the Lord Buddha, you are a man of God and you have that power, give back the life to my baby. You know that story, all of you. The Buddha couldn't say no to her, but he said, can you please go and collect just a morsel of the grains from any house where the death has not entered. That means no one in that family has passed any time. Go and collect it. She went to every door of that village, asked everyone, but everyone told that death has already visited our house. Someone or other they passed. That is the eternal truth. We cannot say that it is not, we can stop it. No. So we have to, anyone born is supposed to die. Anything created is supposed to break. So that we should understand. So when we pray for the amaratya, eternity, what is that? It is not the physically. It is my quality. It is my knowledge. That remains in the minds of people. After 2000 years, we are remembering Lord Jesus. He is alive in the hearts of millions and millions of people because of His love. So that we have to understand. So don't mix up the Lord Jesus and the Christianity. It is a different, completely different view. So some people in a different way, they are expressing and analyzing and following the path of the Jesus, teachings of the Jesus. But we, the Hindus, see Jesus as an epitome of love, who gave His life only for the truth. God is there. You can realize God. So that Jesus, it is eternal. The Lord Krishna, 5,000 years before, it is all there. All the time we are remembering Lord Krishna. Think about the Rama. Sri Ramakrishna, within 100 years, he is everywhere in the world. So these call eternity, the life of eternity. It's not the physical. So when we go for the Amrita Kumbha and we think that the liquid will be there and we will sip and then we will become eternal, it is nothing like that. How we can be remembered by God, and those who are in power, they want that. The people should remember them. But they don't know the method. Method is unselfishness. And how it is possible? Swami Vivekananda, that you beautifully puts it. Unselfishness is more paying. It will give you everything. If you become unselfish, egoless. But we don't have the patience to practice it. So what is God? Unselfishness is God. So I don't have that ego. Why? I know that everything that is there, the world that I see, is nothing but temporary. This Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in a discussion it will come. Then Atul is asking, how can we keep on God? Ramakrishna is giving that age-old answer. The answer that Sri Krishna gave here when the Atul, the brother of Girish Chandra Ghosh, when he is asking this question to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, his answer is the same. And he said, Abhyasa Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, we find that Krishna is to Kaunteya. Kaunteya means the Arjuna. Through Abhyasa, repetition, repeated practice. Abhyasena tu Kaunteya, Vairagyena necessary. Vairagya, which are all that which is permanent. And what is that permanent? Going is that God. That's why the Hindus, though they understand, each and every Hindu, they know that God is formless. God is all pervading. God cannot have a form. But still they worship different forms because it helps them. When the mind is concentrated on that particular form, it is easy for me to withdraw the mind from all other thoughts and concentrate on that particular person, and can go on remembering all the qualities that he showed, and can naturally imbibe those qualities. When we are imbibing the wonderful qualities of Sri Ramachandra, which is Satya, the truth, which is Swadharma, he always stood on that. Though I have given the word, I must keep it. That is Dharma. And look around everywhere, they are giving the word only to break it. And then think they are very practical. And then nowadays their word is very much used, professional. What is this profession? Cheating? Telling lies? No. Somehow or other we have to perform that function. No, we should always go on the path of truth. We don't care about other things. That is the main thing. That is called Dharma. There may be ordinary people, that time they won't understand you. They may think that, oh, you are a fool, you could not utilize that proper opportunity. But no, I know everything. All these things are all temporary. And I have to go to the ultimate. So that truthfulness, that Swadharma, whatever is my responsibility, I must perform. That is the teaching of Sri Ramachandra. So when we are repeating the Sri Rama, along with the name and the form, the quality also we should meditate. And we should generate. We should practice. The Krishna, Tyaga, in the whole Gita is nothing but Tyaga, giving up. And who can give up? A man of knowledge who knows everything is temporary. And that after that he gives up because he don't have the ego. The Krishna is, that's why the God. The Krishna is loved because of his giving up, the Tyaga. He could be a great monarch of the whole India. No, he gave up everything. A very simple life he lived. So this is the qualities of the Krishna. When we see the same thing in the truthfulness and the giving up in Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and Swami Vivekananda addressed him as Tyagishwara. He is the Lord of the renouncer, Tyagishwara. So that if we can, when we are meditating on Sri Ramakrishna, we have to meditate on his quality also, that he gave up all the ego. So this is the way we have to concentrate. Abhyasa yoga, going on repeating, day after day. I will complete, say, 1000 japa. Whatever happens here and there, I must complete. Then only I will go and sleep. I must complete 5,000, I must complete 10,000. If you keep in that way, then your part of your mind will be constantly forcing you to take the name of God. I have not completed that. And that way you develop the attachment with the God. And that name only, simple name, the Guru has given to you, that will help you. In the beginning it is nothing. Oh, this God's name, I was knowing it, but anyway Guru has given, let me. So when you are going on repeating, increasing, and along with that, you will find your mind is constantly connected with that God. And God means the wonderful qualities. And that quality, slowly, as the Father's wealth will come to you. And your very near and dear ones, they will also wonder how this person has changed. You are not affected by anything, neither the praise nor the criticism. You are very calm, composed, always happy, satisfied. That is the spiritual level. So that we have to, how? Abhyasa yoga. You should practice calling on God every day. It is not possible to succeed in one day. Through daily prayer, you will come to long for God. Dirgha kalam nairantara yat satkara sevita dirha bhumi. In the Yoga Shastra, Patanjali, he is telling this. Dirgha kalam, for a long period of time. Nairantara yat, regularly the same thing. Nirantara, constantly, continuously, for a long period of time. Satkarya sevita, when you are practicing that austerity, then Dirha Bhumi, you will be successful. So one should be ready for that. I have practiced meditation for 3 months, but I have not realized God, so I am changing to this philosophy, that philosophy. God bless you. But let us go on trying. But one should have, once I have taken up this, I am going to stick to this. So that mental strength is necessary. That's called Paurusha. The tremendous mental strength. It is not only the male body or female body. It is mental strength. I have taken this and I am going to perform this. What may come? So that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling. But now then he is telling in another person, how can you feel the restlessness if you are immersed in worldliness day and night, restlessness for God. There's something I am going to miss. Every day, one step ahead towards death, the end of our life. How many of us we feel like that? We don't like to think about death. And we'll think that, oh, if we are not discussing about death, it is good. No, it is coming step by step, every day. And if you remember that the time is short, I have to utilize it. And then only the longingness, oh, I have to complete this. Then only if I can see God, if the God is giving that His mercy, so that way the longing, if we can understand. Then he is telling, formerly Jadu Mollik enjoyed spiritual talk. He liked to engage in it himself. But nowadays he doesn't show that much interest. Jadu Mollik, he was very close to the Dakshineshwar. He was a rich man, he was a landlord. So in the beginning he used to come, when afterwards he lost the interest. Look at it. That is called karma phala. Nowadays we are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which is nothing but the conversation of Sri Ramakrishna with the devotees, as we are doing now. And when the Sri Ramakrishna was in person leaving, Jadu Mollik, who was his very close neighbor, and he could come and have the company of that God in person, in the human form, he lost interest. That means the samskara that is constantly dragging us towards the world. And what people will do? How much the cost of the grain? So whether if I hold the grain, so then I will sell it when the demand comes, and I will make a great profit. Then I will build a castle, a big palace, and I will live over there. And where were those buildings? Even today, the rich people, the same thing they are going on doing. They will be having 21 places, 21 buildings, and then all this. They can't even visit all the buildings, but they will go on purchase. They will keep that highly decorated and all. But what for? But instead, if you go and help those poor people, the living gods and goddesses, just outside your door, and give them education, give them health care, support them, encourage them, you will be remembered all through. That is, unselfishness is more paying, but we don't have the patience to practice it. But when we are doing it, that same thing, helping people, not that all rich people are very selfish. There are many are there who are helping. But if we do that with a temperament of service to God, we will get the spiritual benefit. The spiritual benefit means that love, a pure love, satisfaction. So that will come. It was dark, the lamp was lighted in the room. Sri Ramakrishna chanted the divine names. He was singing and praying. He said, chant the name of Hari, repeat the name of Hari, sing the name of Hari. Again he said, Rama, Rama, Rama. Then he said, O Mother, thou doest ever enjoy thine eternal sports. Tell us, O Mother, what is the way? We have taken refuge in thee. We have taken shelter at thy feet. The Sri Ramakrishna is telling Hari. Hari means Krishna. Again he is telling Rama. And again he is taking the name of Mother, the Kali. Now there are a group of people, and in Europe, America, they won't understand. But in India, Ramait Sampradaya, a group of people, they only worship Sri Ramachandra. And they will never worship any other gods and goddesses. That is the problem. They don't believe that there can be any other god except Sri Rama. There is another group of people who will only worship Sri Krishna, and they will sing and take the name of Hari, Sri Krishna, Hari. And they will never believe that there can be any other gods or goddesses. That is the problem. And now Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us. He is the embodiment of the unity in diversity. That he is bringing everyone, the Sri Rama, Sri Krishna and the goddess Kali are the same. That divine is manifesting in different forms, in different times, for different type of people. As I was telling, it is not that particular form. It is the quality of that God whom we are worshipping as God. Sri Ramachandra going and embracing the Guhaka, who was so-called low caste. Those who are worshipping Sri Ramachandra will go do the same thing? If you can't, you are not a devotee of Sri Rama. You are just mocking. It is not possible. The quality of God should come. And I don't like all those things of the God, and I love you, O God. Do you think God is a fool? It is not. So we have to understand that. Sri Krishna, Sri Rama, they are teaching us the truth. And what is that truth? In every being, that Krishna, that Rama, that Kali, that Shiva, that God, that Brahman is residing. How? As the consciousness. That we should understand. So through the devotion, through the duality, we must reach to that oneness, that is Advaita Vedanta. And finding Girish restless, Sri Ramakrishna remained silent a moment. He asked Teja Chandra to sit near him. The boy sat near the master. He whispered to him that he would have to leave soon. Sri Ramakrishna asked him means the Master Mahashaya. What did he say? The Master Mahashaya said, he said he would have to go home. Sri Ramakrishna, why do I attract these boys to me so much? These young boys. Sri Ramakrishna asked them, talked to them affectionately, and most of the time he used to keep the sweets to distribute like that. So why do I attract these boys to me so much? They are pure vessels untouched by worldliness. So that is the reason. A mind still not scattered in the world. Name, fame and all those things. And that is the best time one should think of God. When the mind has already been scattered in the worldly things and already experienced different worldly things, it's very, very difficult to collect that scattered mind. It's like the master seed, the small, small seeds. And if it is scattered on the floor, you can never collect all of them that fell from the box. So that's why it is already scattered, many of them will be lost. If the mind, the strength is already scattered, that is why they always suggested brahmacharya. The brahmacharya means one-pointedness. That is the time the student should not give the mind to many other things, of the worldly things. Then the modern days constantly just for the market, they are making them commodity and they are destroying the human society. They think right from the young age they should do this, they will sing like this, they should dance like this. That is terrible. They should not do. The other day I was listening, someone sent me that one very young boy, hardly 9 or 10 years, And maybe the parents, they have taught him a poem asking question about the India have celebrated 75th Independence Day. On that day, very negative all through. But the boy, as because he was taught, he was reciting very nicely, that is appreciating, but each and every word is negative, negative and negative. As if the independence of the India is nothing. Is it? It's wrong. After subjugation of so many hundreds of years, only these 75 years the independence has come. We are not ready. Our leadership is not ready. Our society is not ready. Our minds is not ready. How you are thinking that everything will be 100% perfect? Nowhere. In no society things are 100% perfect. But rather we should teach that young mind, I am going to do this, I am going to love these people, I am going to help these people. I like to see each and every brother and sister of my beloved country are happy, healthy, wealthy, and they're educated. Tell that. Why all negativeness? And people are going on sending that to everyone, not understanding what they are doing. It's criticizing. Ask yourself, go stand before a mirror. What is your contribution? Have you done anything? Except, oh, this should be done, that should be done. Who will do? You have not done. Ask your father, ask your grandfather, ask your whole family. Have they? So why then? That's why Lord Buddha said, instead of asking these and that, whether God is there or not, you become pure. Perform your swadharma. And they branded the Lord Buddha, he never accepted God. No, he was. Sri Ramakrishna said, he didn't express it. To whom then? So never ever think about the negativeness. There will be all negative, bad, dark thing. But love the positive thing, positive way. I am going to do this. I don't know whether all others will do or not. That is the right attitude. Teach your children that. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is asking, the God is nothing but positive. It's never negative. There's a beautiful word our Rabindranath wrote about Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, I'm sorry. Rabindranath wrote about Swami Vivekananda. In him, everything is positive, nothing negative. Nothing negative. He is asking my countrymen, scolding them, sabacha praharai, with the words as if he is weeping. The why you are all so negative? I can't do it, I won't be able to do it. Always you need a leader. Why? You become your own master. Think and then perform. Friends, religion doesn't mean that somebody will come and say something. It is your own mind. You have to analyze, you have to understand, and you have to take the oath, your decision, that I am going to perform it, I am going to do it. And if you look around, you will see everything is nothing but temporary. So we are withdrawing the mind from the temporary things and going to love something permanent, and that is God. And God is nothing but love and unselfishness, and we have to manifest that. Now here Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, why do I attract these boys to me so much? Because they are pure vessels, untouched by worldliness. This worldliness means the craving for the worldly objects. So that is always grabbing. I want. That is worldliness. A man cannot assimilate instruction if his mind is stained with worldliness. He will always think in a negative way. Suppose you are going to help someone, then a man of the worldly minded person, immediately you will think, why he is going to help? There must be some reason. There must be something behind. He is going to do this. He is going to, afterwards he will ask for this. This is called worldliness. Pure love, just for love's sake. Sri Ramakrishna arrived at the Star Theatre on Beedon Street on his master's birthday, after they have celebrated over there and the food was given to all. Now they are visiting a theatre, and that was Girish Chandra Ghosh. Friends, we have to remember the Sri Ramakrishna, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is going to visit the theatre on those days. He was a priest. He was a holy person. Even then, with all the devotees, he is going to visit that. Revolutionary work. But very simple way he is doing. People, they used to frown. And so-called leaders of the spirituality, why a holy man should be like this, should be like that, they were thinking. But who is a holy man? Everywhere he is seeing the positive thing. Each and everything is nothing but the play of God. His mind is full of that idea. God present in everything. That is a holy man. No, I don't do this, I don't do that. That is completely just his beginning. But a person who has already realized God, for him there should not be any discrimination. Sri Ramakrishna reached over there, and to see a performance of Brishaketu. Brishaketu, and the publishers are given a note that Brishaketu was the son of Karna. Karna, the great hero of the Mahabharata. So this Brishaketu, on him only, the master to aim. Has Narendra come? Swami Vivekananda used to avoid those days, that the theatres and all that. But Sri Ramakrishna wanted him also to come there, to see, to understand, to realize, because through that also the great teachings in the society. Sri Ramakrishna asked Girish Chandra Ghosh, who was praying for the permission to become a sannyasi. Give me the permission, I like to become a sannyasi, I like to give up everything. Sri Ramakrishna said, no. You can help people, serve people through your capacity, your knowledge, and you are best in theatre. So do that in such a way that always a positive flow that goes to those people who are watching that. And that is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna advised to the Girish Chandra Ghosh. Through the theatre, you can educate people. Moral teaching can be given. And he is asking, has Naren come? Yes, sir. The performance began. Karna and his wife, Padmavati, sacrificed their son to please God, who had come to them in the guise of a Brahmin to test Karna's charity. During this scene, one of the devotees gave a suppressed sigh. Sri Ramakrishna also expressed his sorrow. Because this couple, Karna and Padmavati, Karna promised that anyone come to me and ask anything, I will give him that. That was the great, the way, and the God wanted to test. So he came in the form of a Brahmin and he told, I like to eat some meat, but it should be the human meat. Very peculiar, the prayer. Karna told, okay. No, not ordinary human, your son's meat. You have to kill and then cook that flesh and serve me. That story goes like that. Karna did that. And not only that, his wife, she also participated in that. Both of them are crying. They were blind with tears. But even then, they did that. So that is, Sri Ramakrishna was feeling the sadness when they were doing that. But afterwards, of course, he was not actually going to do that. He gave back the life of that boy, etc., etc. But it is to show that once I have promised, I will keep my promise, whatever it may be. So that Karna, he was doing that. After the play, Sri Ramakrishna went to the recreation room of the theatre. Girish and Narendra were already there. Master stood near Narendra and said, I have come. Sri Ramakrishna, he stood near the Narendra. Sri Ramakrishna took a seat. The orchestra was playing in the auditorium. The Master Maharaj giving a very graphic picture. So when he is writing, he is giving the picture in such a way. After the play, they went to that recreation room and could hear that in the auditorium the orchestra was going on playing, the music is reaching over here, because the next show again will begin. So whole thing we can imagine. Those who have visited the theatre, they can imagine that. The master to the devotee, I feel happy listening to the concert. The musicians used to play on the Shanai at Dakshineshwar. Shanai is very famous, the Shanai. Shanai is an instrument, the musical instrument, and the beautiful the sound it can create. And when he was in Dakshineshwar, I would go into ecstasy. Noticing this, a certain sadhu said, this is the sign of the knowledge of Brahman. And they used to play the Shanai in the morning. There's a type of the flute, and that music is to make the mind very calm. And Sri Ramakrishna used to go into the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So when he is listening to the concert of the theatre, he is going back to that. This is the beauty of the holy people. Immediately, the whole companion who were sitting near Sri Ramakrishna, they can't listen to that music, that the light music was going on. He took their mind to Dakshineshwar and they were feeling the calmness. So this is the way, each and everything turning towards God. And the orchestra stopped and Sri Ramakrishna began to conversation. Master to Girish, does this theatre belong to you? Girish, it is ours, sir, as a group of people, but it is I am the owner of this. Girish didn't say that, and that was not. It was a group. But Sri Ramakrishna liked that. Ours is a good. It is not good to say mine. People say I and mine, they are egoistic, small-minded people. But in the Europe and America, you have to say I. So when you are inviting some people, we invite you, immediately the one who was prompting, but you are inviting. What is that? We. So they don't understand in that way. So here, because of the social things are totally little different. So you have to say I. And particularly in the modern days, I have heard from the young people applying for the job, you have to go on boasting about your own qualification. Otherwise, you won't be getting that job. And if you say, well, I'm humble, I don't know much, but I can try, you will never get the call of the interview. You have to say, I can do, I can that, I did that, these, that. You have to go on boasting. Then only you will. So it has changed. The society is constantly changing, but truth is truth. Eternal truth in a changing society. Swami Ranganathananda ji, one of our great Swamiji, he wrote a book. Actually, these lectures, Eternal Truth in a Changing Society. The eternal truth is that it is not I, it is not me, it is not mine. That humbleness, ego free, ego that separates me from God. So when I am going backward journey, I am going back to God. I came out of my original home and I was loitering over here. Now I am going back to my own home. What I should do? I should remove that curtain of I. So that is spiritual truth, eternal truth. So now here the Girish is telling, okay, Narendra, the young Narendra, he was sitting over there, the whole world is a theatre. He commented, the young people, they are always like that. Now, we should notice how Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna utilizing the words of a young man, Narendra, towards the spiritual knowledge. When the Narendra told the whole world is a theatre, Sri Ramakrishna, yes, that's right. In some places you see the play of Vidya, and in some the play of Avidya. Look at it. Immediately Sri Ramakrishna taking the whole conversation to the Advaitic discussion. Vidya and Avidya. Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya. There is Sri Ramakrishna's own the coinage also, and he used to love to tell like that. Narendra, everything is the play of Vidya. Again, Sri Ramakrishna, true. But a man realizes that when he has the knowledge of Brahman. Now, Narendra is telling everything in this world is nothing but theatre. That means he had that conception that it is not real actually. Sri Ramakrishna is supporting, yes. But all these activities that is happening, a part of it for the truth and another part untrue. Then Narendra told, no, everything is truth. He said, yes, that is also correct, but that when you have already realized the Brahman. What is that Brahman? All-pervading consciousness. When one has realized that, he don't see anything in a different form. Sometimes people, they wonder, those who are studying the Vedanta, what happens after Brahma Jnana? What he sees? He sees everything as we see. But when we see a man and a woman and an animal, he also sees like that. But at the same time, he is fully aware that each and everything is nothing but the consciousness. The outer, that form, the name, that is different. But internally, that is all consciousness. That is aware. That is Brahmajnani. So everything that we see is nothing but the Brahman. After realizing the God, everything that the person sees is nothing but God. Yatra yatra netra pade, tatra Krishna spure. Those who are following the path of Krishna and you should not come to us, you should not touch me, you are not holy. It goes on doing that. After the realization, those people see those untouchables and all those things that you are denying, everything is nothing but the same Krishna. Wherever I look, I see the Krishna manifesting. From the point of view of the dualist also, the one, that is Krishna, Adda Vishnu, Adda Rama. And from the Advaitin point of view, also the same, the one, the Brahman, the consciousness. So whatever Narendra said, immediately Sri Ramakrishna turned it to the positive way. But for a bhakta who follows the path of the divine love, both exist, following the path of divine love. For the jnanis, it is all consciousness. And for the bhakta, it always say, this is Vidyamaya. That means the God, that is the truth, that is the eternal, and avidya, Maya. What is Maya? Maya is the power of God. Many a times we have discussed. And it is very difficult to define Maya. But we can feel that. And to some extent to understand, we can think is the power of God. It has two capacity. It can cover the original and superimpose something completely false thing on that covered one. And it is having three gunas, the power, the quality, sattva, raja, tama. With these three guna and two power, this Maya is doing the havoc. So whole this thing that we see is nothing but the creation of Maya. And that, Sri Ramakrishna said, and in that there is a Vidya Maya. That means they understand this is the manifestation of God. So they are not denying that. By the positive way they are moving. And there is a very classical example. The philosophers, they always say, a glass half fill. Some people will say the half empty glass, negative. And some will say half filled with water, positive. Same thing, two different views. So when the whole world is like this, they say this is the manifestation of the God, my beloved, my love, my God. It wants like this. So this is the way Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya. Then Sri Ramakrishna asking Narendra, please sing a little. Narendra is singing. Upon the sea of blissful awareness, waves of ecstatic love arise. Upon the sea of blissful awareness, Chaitanya, upon the sea of blissful with all joy, that awareness, waves of static love arise and different changes are coming. Then in one place the song says, then once more in the great communion, all are merged as the barrier walls of time and space dissolve and vanish. Time and space dissolve and vanishes. First it is the wave, that is creation. And the creation takes different names and forms. Those who are the students of Vedanta, you all know how the creation came. Two different ways the Hindus they explain. From the dualistic point of view and monastic point of view, they will be telling about the creation. And here it says, because the calm and composed, the blissfulness means one of the epithet of the Brahman is a bliss. And there the wave started, that means the creation. Creation took different names and form. Then the time and space they go away. Again those forms that goes back to the eternal, and it all goes back, great communion. Listening to that, as Narendra sang the words, then once more in the great communion, all are merged, Sri Ramakrishna said to him. One realizes this after attaining the knowledge of Brahman, then all is Vidya, Brahman as you said. The Vidya Maya, all things are there. But when I see that as the manifestation of the consciousness, that is called Vidya. So Narendra said that everything is nothing but the theatre. The whole world is a theatre. Of course. But we can look at this from two different points of view. One is, these are all false. Another is the full of God. That Narendra, afterward he said, where you were searching for God? Can't you see your God praying for food, praying for knowledge, praying for the clothings, praying for the shelter? Go and serve them. The living tabernacles, living gods and goddesses, waiting for you to serve. Jibe prem kare jai jan, shei jan shebiche ishar. He who loves the beings, he is serving God. The theatre, of course. But if we can take it in a positive way, each and every one that we are meeting, talking, we can see within that person as our beloved God. That will be the ultimate of spirituality. We talk about spirituality, this is spirituality. Thank you, friends. We will conclude over here, and then in the next day, a little is left is there, we will conclude over there. Is there any question?
The first question. The first question is from Koshal. He's asking question about both form of God. If Ishta worshipped deity is not the same as name of God from Guru, should Ishta be changed?
Not very clear.
Just let me repeat again.
Sometimes some people, they love a particular form of God, and then when they take the initiation from the Guru, maybe Guru will give the name of another God or goddess. So the name of the God or goddess that has been given by the Guru, that is called Ishta Devata or Devi. You are supposed to take the name of that and to meditate on that. Suppose you have taken the name the Guru has given, the Shiva, but you love Kali. So afterwards, after repeating the name of the Shiva, meditating on Shiva, in the other time, if you meditate on Kali, worship Kali, nothing, no harm. I think that was the question.
Is the Ishta worshipped not the same I got from the Guru?
Ishta, that is if you have got it from the Guru, it is no. All goddesses are the same. The Guru has given a name and the God and that form, the same. You are loving. So why we should stick to the instruction of the Guru? Because our energy to worship this God, this goddess, that goddess, energy is fleeting. That's why we take initiation and we concentrate on that. As the Guru has said, I must follow it. That's all.
The next question from Sanita Banerjee. She is asking, how should we balance our day-to-day duties with spiritual practices?
So when that is a wonderful another instruction is there by our that Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda ji, the direct disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. When this question was asked, he said, when you go to your office, you take out the picture of your God or goddess and say, God, I am starting my work, daily work, whatever. And then in between, again, when there is the break, again you take out the picture, and the other people should not see it. Very privately, you should talk to God and pray to Him. Now it is a break. And then finally, when you are closing, just once again, you take out that picture and pray to the God and say, the God, this much I could offer it to you. Office work or whatever the work that you do, just offer it to God, remembering Him. Mam anusmara yuddhacha. That was the instruction of the Lord Krishna to Arjuna. You just go on remembering me and fight. Arjuna was waging a war and he was remembering God at that time. And we are only going to office or doing some other. Can't we remember God? We can if we want. Thank you, friends. So let us chant this mantra and we conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.